Hello, it's me, Euphigenia Doubtfire. Thank you for watching my movie.
Wow, you sound different.
Yeah, thanks. Wow, thank you, Mrs. Doubtfire, for joining us. Okay, you can leave now. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Wow, I can't believe we got the Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, there was a part of me when you were doing that. I mean, totally when Mrs. Doubtfire was doing that.
Yeah.
When I was like, man, how cool would it be if Robin Williams, if we could be like, good morning, Vietnam, like really loud.
We could get him on Cameo to be like. Man, he would be so popular on Cameo.
Yeah. Now I'm sad.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
What a way to start. Let's depress ourselves with remembering that Robin Williams is gone, but never forgotten because he's
Mrs. Doubtfire, starring Robin Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that.
Like, probably it's one of those movies that, has made, like, a huge impact on, like, the culture. Like, everybody knows if you talk about Mrs. Doubtfire, like, oh, yeah, cross-dressing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a common reference. But I had never actually watched it.
Yeah, now you have.
And I think you had watched it maybe, like, once when you were younger. This was your first time kind of coming back to it, right? Yeah,
it's my first time watching it after... Yeah, I'd say like many years of not seeing it. And this is something that we'll definitely get into for sure. But there's a couple big reasons why I don't rewatch this movie. And that is mostly because I can't stand awkward tension. And this movie is basically awkward tension.
That's the whole
feature
movie.
Film.
and that we can get more into that once we get to the part where we're like, scoring how 90s it is. But I feel like that is kind of a 90s comedy movie thing, is a lot of them were about like being really uncomfortable. Honestly,
you're probably right about that. I just as a cursory glance, I would probably go, yeah, that sounds right.
Like, I'm thinking of like, and that maybe continued on into 2000s, but I feel like it was really at its height in the 90s, because I feel like, I don't know, what 80s comedy stuff is more like goofy. Like, I don't know, I'm thinking of like Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Wait, that was 80s, right? Yeah, that must have been.
Yeah, I think so.
Was that 90s?
Wait, is Bill and Ted on our list?
Bill and Ted. 1989. Okay, it was just barely.
Ah, dang, we just barely can't talk about this movie.
I guess the sequels must have been in the 90s then.
Oh, they were.
Yeah. Well, the one sequel. Oh, and then there was the more recent sequel in 2020. Which I guess I heard was like okay.
Yeah, I heard it was.
I don't know. I never watched it. I don't know. I'm not hugely attached to those, but whatever. We're not talking about Bill and Ted right now. Anyway. I feel like this movie was very 90s. This might be like one of our highest ranking ones.
It could be. And you know what's funny though? As somebody who has listened back and like, mostly because I was trying to get the scores, because as I said, we have to write those suckers down. we did, right?
I
believe so, because I told you.
I like put them in our list of 90s movies. I added them next to it. See, now I am like, man, we rated some of these really high already. Now I'm like,
I know, and
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, oh man, I was just gonna get into that about how we say this is really 90s, but we're probably gonna end up giving it like maybe a point or two more than Space Jam or something.
Yeah,
we gave those really high marks.
Space Jam and Turtles were both 97, and this one I guess I'll just say I'm feeling like a 98, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I might go even farther, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll have time to deliberate that. We'll have time to discuss.
We should talk about the movie itself first, I suppose.
Yes. And as always, you're the better summarizer, and I'll interject when I feel appropriate to do so.
This is the 1993 comedy directed by Christopher Columbus, written by Randy Mayhem Singer and Leslie Dixon, based on a 1987 novel, Madame Doubtfire by Anne Fine.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Yes. Blah, blah, blah. It has some people in it. Aside from Robert Williams, we have Sally Field playing his character's wife. We have Pierce Brosnan as Pierce Brosnan. We have Harvey Fierstein as his gay brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do I want to say about this? Right, I guess just the director Christopher. The director, Christopher Joseph Columbus. I guess usually just Chris Columbus, probably to differentiate from the,
other guy.
Explorer.
Yeah, that
guy. He is kind of known for doing a lot of other 90s movies. We're going to be watching some of his other movies, like Home Alone.
I just saw, Macaulay Culkin's face, like, flash across the screen as you hovered over that hyperlink. I was like, whoa!
And then I saw, just interesting looking at his history, it says, like, Home Alone 2, Mrs. Doubtfire, and then it just says several other films throughout the 90s, which were mostly met with lukewarm reception. And then apparently he found success again once he did the first and second Harry Potter films.
Oh, that's true. I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, that was the same director.
I had forgotten about that. And I obviously don't really want to speak about the author for obvious reasons, but I will say those two movies were good. Movies. The first two movies were good. I obviously personally feel like they kind of got less good after the second one. That was just me.
That's interesting because I feel like a lot of the opinions are kind of the other way around.
Yeah, a lot of people don't vibe too much with the first two, maybe because they were too long.
I was going to say it's because aren't the first two more like children's films?
I guess. I suppose.
And then people were like, no, we want the like edgy, whatever ones, like the later movies. But it makes sense for the first two ones. We don't need to talk about Harry Potter.
Yeah, correct. Exactly.
But anyway, I guess the point is it seems like his focus is on kind of like family comedy stuff.
Yeah. And he does it pretty well.
He's pretty good at it.
Yeah, I would say that.
I mean, aside from, I guess, those several other films that
lukewarm
won't even be named.
Can't even name them. Wikipedia won't even tell us.
They probably are on our list. I don't know. Maybe he did like Dunstan Checks In or something. I don't know.
You should Google that real quick and see if he did.
Should we
That'd be really funny.
The filmography really quick?
Yeah, maybe.
Is there anything highlighted here? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, just talking about Mrs. Doubtfire.
Isn't there, like, maybe a list at the bottom?
He did, like, romantic comedies, 9 months. He did Bicentennial Man also with Robin Williams.
Oh.
I don't think I saw that.
Hey, that's on our list, too. Or it could be, because it's 1999. Robin
Williams is a robot. Mm-hmm. And then it pretty much goes to Harry Potter, so I don't know.
Yeah, who's to say? Who's to say? But either way. As you were describing.
Yeah, so the basic premise of the movie is that Robin Williams, his wife is getting divorced from him because he is just not very responsible. But he's like a very loving father, and he's like a funny guy. Robin Williams really going out of his wheelhouse, playing a funny voice actor.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, by the way, he's a voice actor too, which is like, I was kind of wondering, is this related to some of his other voice acting experience or something? Because he gets fired because in the like cartoon that he's doing voice acting for, there's like a scene where one of the characters is smoking, and he's like, you can't, why are you putting this in a kid's cartoon? Which also I am kind of like, yeah, actually, wasn't that actually illegal by the 90s? Anyway,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they couldn't actually do that. But anyway.
You bring up a good point. I'm not entirely sure.
Does this actually it must take place in the 90s. I don't know. Anyway.
Because it does, because remember, the kids even say...
Yeah, they say it's the 90s. I'm pretty sure, you couldn't show smoking in a children's cartoon by the 90s.
I'm trying to remember.
Because that was the 90s was when the like cartoon code or whatever it was called.
It might have like started around the time that maybe we were like growing up, like watching, like actually consuming content. So like maybe in the early 90s, it was like being phased out. But take that with a grain of salt. We haven't like looked into that at all. Who's to say? But yeah, Robin Williams' character. Oh my God, what was his name again?
Danny.
Danny's right. Danny boy.
Daniel Hillard.
Yeah, Danny was like, no, the black lung. No. And they're like, you can't put words in his mouth. And that was one of the comedy things that I thought was really funny is that, he like looks to the people in the room and they're all smoking.
Oh, like,
yeah. They all are smoking.
He's like, come on, don't you guys agree with me? And they're just all smoking and they just stare at him. Like, we don't give a shit.
Yeah, and I remember when we were watching it, you were wondering if it had something to do with his time on Aladdin, that he did that.
Yeah,
but I don't know when this movie came out in relation to
when was Aladdin?
I don't know. But that is something to like maybe
1992. This was after Aladdin.
It could be.
So yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, whether that was
or I don't know if that comes also from the novel. Was he a voice actor? I feel like probably not.
I would say probably not. Yeah.
It just says actor.
Oh, okay.
Moonlighting is a nude model. They didn't put that in the movie.
Whoa, cool. But yeah, I think making it a part of like Robin's wheelhouse, being a voice actor, that makes sense. It's like, because when you cast Robin Williams in a movie, he's going to make voices.
Funny voices.
That's what he's going to do. It's what he's going to do.
Which did do a few that not aged well. He did some like ethnic based ones. Yeah.
And
which
actually,
thankfully it was just like a one-off kind of thing. It's like, okay, it was the 90s.
Yeah. And that is something I will add before we get too into the thick of it. I will also add as a slight, I don't know if like I need to say the word disclaimer or anything, but as it being of its time, this movie does, I think, an okay job at not being too it's crass in regards to a guy dressing up as a girl, and like it's seemingly duplicitous or something to that
there's
degree.
Like one really bad moment, I would say.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just kind of supposed to be like like it's not really interested in exploring like trans or even like drag, really. It is just like it's just a disguise to get him to be able to see his kids, which we've kind of skipped around a bit. But
that was the other part of that premise.
Is that right? So they're getting divorced. Yeah, and
the mom is getting custody because he doesn't have a job at the moment.
Yeah, he's like unreliable and stuff, and so the mom wants a housekeeper, and so he does this whole plan where he gets like a Mission Impossible like mask for
his because his brother
is a makeup artist.
Yeah, his brother's a makeup artist, and I guess he and his partner. Or I'm not sure if they were like husband or just boyfriend.
They never really said.
They didn't say, but they were the ones responsible for like making up the mask and everything.
Yeah, they
were like makeup artists.
Did his hair.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's a wig, right? He just puts it on. Yeah,
I love it.
His outfit.
They did a lot of bits because again, when you cast Robin, you're going to get improv, you're going to get bits, and that was, I think, part of what they did in that montage. Is they were just like, here's Robin wearing some different faces, and he's just saying stuff.
I know it was just kind of for comedy, jokes, but it didn't really make sense because he calls her in character as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes,
and says he's interested in the job, and then he goes to his brother to make up the outfit and stuff.
Yeah.
And they like experiment with a bunch of different looks, including like some different ethnicities, which is a little weird. But and it's like, wait, why aren't you doing one that matches the voice that you did? Like, why he's like doing different voices. I'm like, you already did a voice. She knows.
The only thing I could say to that is it would not shock me if in like the thought process of like the character, if it was like, oh, well, here's the voice I have. Here's the look you gave me. Here's the voice that would go with this look, which is why we're not doing it.
Yeah, I guess.
But I get what you mean, though. It's kind of like, why are you going there? Like, did you not tell them the voice you had in mind? Like, did you not speak it? And I do like the look they settle on where they go, how does it look? And he goes, if you were, or what was it? It was, if anymore and you look like mom. Yeah,
they basically, I guess that is what they basically turn him into, their mom.
Yeah, it was good. And I love that part too, because they're like, woo! And they're like, banging hips, and like high-fiving and like, yeah, we did it. I don't know, it was joyous.
You can trick your wife so you can see your kids.
Woo! Woo!
Which, that is the other thing about this is like, you kind of want to root for him because he's a nice guy and he really does love his kids.
He's on hard times,
but it's also it is also honest about the fact, I think, that what he's doing is fucked up.
Yeah, that he's lying to his wife.
It is bad. He's
and to his kids too for a moment. Which leads into that moment where I was kind of like, "Hey, disclaimer: this is from the '90s, and it's definitely I think better than some movies would address this topic. Like, you know, there's no gratuitous throwing up scenes or anything like that, but
yeah, it's not Ace Ventura.
Yeah, God.
Which we probably won't watch that one, maybe? I don't know.
If you watch Lindsay Ellis's video about tracing the roots of transphobia through media, she goes into a lot more in that kind of topic and like films and how they like addressed that kind of stuff like prior to the Hays Code. Or no, not prior to the Hays Code, probably like after the Hays Code. Either way, though, definitely recommend watching. It's very insightful. Anyway, this, I feel like, was definitely better than it could have been, because I do recall being nervous about this movie when we were going to watch it. I was like, ooh, it's been a minute. I don't know how this is aged. Oh, no.
I guess
we know more now. Like, we know it's not supposed to be a haha funny guy in a dress. Like, oh, how is this movie going to address this? And yeah, there is that one moment where the son walks in and it's like, oh God, like freaks out because he walks in on him in the bathroom, which, by the way, kid, knock on the damn door. Like,
yeah, right.
Door's closed. Open it.
Yeah, and then, I mean, we were kind of laughing about it because it's like,
oh, he didn't wash his hands.
Oh, well, that's another thing. But he goes to his sister and he's like, call the cops.
Oh, God.
Because it's like, and you know, to us in 2025, where did you get the... Huh? We're also waiting for our food to be delivered.
Sorry, yeah, we're waiting for a pizza.
If we seem distracted. We should have done that for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hey, Mrs. Doubtfire had to do that when she ordered Italian food.
Oh yeah, she ordered, yeah, because on like the first day he like fucks up the food and lights his like outfit on fire.
Yeah.
And then he just
burns the hell out of the food.
And so then he like orders food from like a fancy restaurant. What was I gonna say? Oh right, like call the cops. And so yeah, we were like, what, like.
For what?
For cross-dressing? Like, yeah. But of course, at that time, the implication is, oh, anybody who's cross-dressing must be, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? A sexual predator or
like,
whatever.
Yeah, like a deviant.
It's just like,
yeah.
So that was obviously not good.
Yeah. But the real crime is the fact Robin Williams didn't wash his hands.
Yeah, we were also laughing about that.
He quickly leaves the bathroom, and then they do a hand-packed thing, and it's like, no, you're touching his pee hands!
Yeah, because at first, we were watching the scene, and it's this really dramatic scene, because he's like, no, it's me, like, I'm your dad, I'm just dressed up like this to, you know, do all, he's explaining
it's the only way I could
everything.
Be with you, like, the only way I could be around you.
And the whole time, all we were thinking about is, like, he didn't wash his hands. Don't touch anybody. Don't touch anybody with your hands. And then he hugs the daughter, and we're like, no.
His pee hands. No.
And then they do a thing where they're like, okay, and then they do like the football thing or whatever, where everybody puts their hands over each other. And we're like, they're doing this on purpose just to bother us. They're touching their hands as much as possible.
Oh, yeah, they're.
Oh.
Or, well, there was a missed call, but I don't think that was our thing.
Oh.
I guess we'll freaking find out. Also, it's really annoying.
Did it not ring?
I don't know. I have a new phone, and it, as expensive as this new phone was, it's really weird about how it alerts me when things call. Like, it's really bad about that.
Like, it just doesn't ring sometimes.
Oh, yeah, well, it's a voice message, so it's probably them saying, open that gate, I bet. Yep.
Wait, oh, you did get the game?
I guess after the fact. Hang on, I'm gonna watch my phone. Hopefully they'll call again. But anyway, the that aside, first world problems from this time and century. From like that aside, in terms of going back to the 90s situation, that was an element we were like, oh, okay. but after that, for the most part, for the rest of it, it handled things pretty well, I would say. You know, for the most part. And again, we're both cisgender, so take that, you know, with a grain of salt as well. But yeah, I feel like could have been way worse is all I'm trying to say.
A lot of the humor really comes more just from the exaggerated character of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
And also just
his mannerisms, like how he does things. Yeah,
and the like kind of, I guess, the dramatic irony of like, we know that it's him, but they don't know that it's him, and so he's kind of saying these things. But it's like, you know, it's like, it's funny because there's like a double meaning to what he's saying because... You got it?
No.
You good?
But still go ahead.
you know, to what he's saying one thing as Mrs. Doubtfire, but really he's saying something else as himself.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very funny. A lot of good wordplay and stuff. I mean, of course, it's Robin Williams. He's great.
Yes.
At delivering jokes.
Robin Williams is great at making jokes. And I remember there was a part where he was talking with the like, oh, was it, I guess, social worker? Is that the right word? The person at the employment office?
Yeah,
when he was talking with the person at the employment office, and you know, she asked him like, oh, what do you do? You know, or do you have any skills? And he was like, oh, well, yeah, I'm an actor. And he like starts launching into all these like different...
Well, he says, I do voices.
Oh, yeah, I do voices. And she's like, what the heck does that mean? You know? And
he could have just said, I'm an actor.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. Yeah, I'm an actor. But he said, oh, no, I do voices. And she was like, understandably like, what the hell does that mean? And he like launches into these like little skits. You know, he does like these voices for these like little jokes and whatnot, and it's a bunch of them in succession, and they're all cut. And I made the joke. She doesn't
laugh at any of them.
No, she doesn't. Which she's like, I used to think I was funny, but you proved me wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, I remember when we were watching it, I had like kind of made a mention of like, oh, it wouldn't shock me at all if like in the filming process they just told Robin, okay, go for it, just probably do some shit.
Yeah, probably. A lot
and they probably got so many that they were like, oh, quick, cut all these together. These are all good. But obviously it's like played like a montage. So obviously there's going to be a good couple bits anyway, but I thought that was funny.
You want to check the door real quick?
Yeah, I'll check it here. I'll let you look at this. But yeah, continue talking about the...
Yeah, so we just kind of go through a while of him working as the nanny, and he kind of like is getting his stuff together. The wife is getting her stuff together. You know, everybody's lives are being improved by Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, we got it. Yeah. Yay. Okay. Thanks.
Quick, now plate it before our wife gets home. So she thinks we made it. Just like in that scene.
Yep. And he's even like... So, like, finally, should we get to, like, kind of the climax of the film is the dinner at the restaurant, right?
Yes, and actually this goes back to what you were saying before about how, like, you kind of want to root for the guy, but at the same time you're, like, going, oh, what he's doing is... You know, the way that he does some of the things, you're like, oh, dude, I can't fully root or condone what you're doing because of, you know, what it is that you're doing at the moment. And I think the most egregious of those comes in the dinner scene at the end, where...
Okay. Well, here, before we get to that, yes. I wanted to, like, set up the dinner scene.
Oh, because, yes. Oh, it's insane. Yes, please do.
Because it's... So what's happened is he's also been working as... a like temp at a TV studio, and he kind of ends up accidentally bumping into like the producer, and you know they're like filming this really boring kids show, and he's like, oh, I got these ideas for like how you can make a better kids show, and blah blah blah, and the producer is actually like, you know what, I want to talk to you more about your ideas, let's have this dinner at this time. And he's like, okay, great, you know, it's a great opportunity. And then as Mrs. Doubtfire, he again not even sure why, but the family's all gonna go out to dinner. Oh, we haven't even really mentioned that the wife has been like kind of dating Pierce Brosnan's character. I guess is a guy she used to date, I think is the implication.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess she used to date him,
or they just knew each other. I think they didn't actually date back then. I think they just knew each other. Like
maybe, or like it was hinted that maybe,
or they almost dated is what it seemed like. Because yeah, he's like going after her really hard. And also, the stereotypical thing would be that his character would be like an asshole or something. Yeah. But we kind of get this scene where Robin Williams' character is like listening to him talk to someone else. Yeah. And he basically is saying like, you know, I never really wanted kids before, but actually, you know, but I really love her, and the kids are really nice, so, you know, maybe I do actually. Oh, I'm fine with that, whatever. Like and it's like, oh, he's actually like a nice guy.
He specifically kind of goes like, especially like the little one, like she's wonderful, you know, like they're all great, they're all gems, and I love them. I think they're really cool.
I was kind of hoping that would lead to something where Robin Williams' character would because the whole time whenever he's around him as Mrs. Doubtfire, he's constantly trying to like undermine him and stuff, and, like insult him in subtle
and kind
ways.
of like push him away from his ex.
Trying to be like, oh, I don't know, he seems like a bad guy or whatever. I was kind of hoping that the scene would make him a little more sympathetic to him. Like, obviously he still doesn't like that he's trying to date his wife, which also, by the way, I think it's like the only thing about Pierce Brosnan's character that's like bad, I guess, is just that she is technically still married, and so it's like,
well, they're going through the divorce, and she made that clear. She was like, I'm in like the middle of a divorce,
and he's still just really going for it. But I don't know, it's like, maybe wait a little bit, guy. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, that was something that Robin even made fun of, where he was like, you got to wait until the sheets get cold or something like that. You know?
Your bed sheets are still warm or something. Yeah, but anyway, right, I was saying I was hoping that would make Robin Williams' character more
like sympathetic
to him, but he doesn't really. He still kind of hates him.
He even throws like a lime at his head, like after he says that. He throws a lime, which goes into what I was saying. Like, there's sometimes where you want to root for him, but then he'll do things. You're just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it'd be one thing if he was like, yes, I'm just after their money, and then he would be like, what? Like, throw the lime, and you'd be like, yeah, got him. But he literally just went, no, I like these kids and I like their wife, their wife, I like their mom. I like their mom, and that's all he was like, yeah, fucker. He threw the lime at his head. Yeah, Jesus.
But what was I saying? Right, so they're all going out, dinner, the family's going out to dinner, and they invite Mrs. Doubtfire
for some reason, because she doesn't want to go because of this meeting. Because
of course, it's at the same restaurant at the same time as the meeting with the like executive guy.
Of course it is. That's
of course. Because it's a comedy movie.
Of course.
Which was also my complaint was shortly before this, he was getting his stuff together, and like the mom even, he's like getting along a little better, because obviously they were like pretty bitter towards each other because of the divorce stuff.
Yeah.
But they're like getting along a little better. He's getting along better with the kids. Like, everybody's, doing great because of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. And by the way, part of why he's doing good is because to be a better house nanny, he's improved himself. He's improved himself. He's learning how to cook so that he can cook there, and he's learning how to clean. He's cleaning his apartment. His house clean. Like, so it looks nice.
And like, there's this point where he says like, oh, well, what if I
do it,
help with taking care of the kids and stuff? And she's like, oh, but we have Mrs. Doubtfire. I wouldn't want to like let her go. And I'm like, okay, all he needs to do is call as Mrs. Doubtfire and say like, oh, something came up back in jolly old England. I have to go back home. Goodbye.
I have to marry Poppins now.
And then the wife probably would be like, well, since things are going well, sure, Mrs. Doubtfire left. Can you help take care of the kids? That would have solved everything.
Maybe.
Right? I mean, the only thing I could think of is that I guess maybe he still needed the job as the nanny.
Maybe.
I guess. But it's like he has this opportunity at the TV studio, so it seems like it would be a perfect time to just kind of be like, stop being Mrs. Doubtfire. But then the movie would stop happening, I guess.
Also, do you think that did the mom like give him money in cash?
What?
Because like she would know his accounts and stuff like that. So unless he had like, I don't know, a separate account that she didn't know about, if she was paying him money, I was assuming it had to be like $300 in cash every day.
I see what you mean. Like, oh yeah, he signed. Oh, can you do direct she gives him a check, and then just she sees the check deposited into the account that it came from. Like, wait a second. No, presumably they had separate accounts at that point.
I assume. Yeah. Something like that. But just like the idea of her handing like a wad of cash,
I mean, yeah, actually maybe. She must have been, because also the checks would have been written out to Euphegenia Doubtfire.
Yeah, it wouldn't have gone
he wouldn't have been able to deposit them.
So it's just kind of funny, just imagining like this like exchange with like a wad of cash.
Up. Yeah, it must have been paying him in cash. Anyway,
awkward.
I think
paying your ex-husband. But anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so it all comes to the dinner.
Yeah.
And he's having to like swap between being dressed as himself, talking to the executive, and being dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire.
As you do.
Talking to the family, and it's like awkward and stuff, but it's like, it seems like he might be able to get away with it, but then he just can't resist being
an idiot. A jerk,
because the Pierce Brosnan, he's like allergic to
Pepper.
Just Pepper?
He said Pepper. I wonder if it was paprika or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Or
it was jambalaya. Hold on, what's usually on jambalaya?
It was like an orange. I remember it was like an orange dusting of something, and that's why I went, is that paprika?
Yeah, what
spice is usually on it?
It just says spices.
Oh, fine. Well, whatever peppery spice is usually on jambalaya.
Which also, it's kind of funny to be like, order jambalaya, and then be like, no seasoning, please.
No seasoning.
I'm very white. I'm extreme. He's British.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of spicy food. But anyway, you would just think order something else, but whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, Robin Williams, he like sneaks into the kitchen and puts the spice back on his jambalaya.
Yeah.
And so he starts having like an allergic.
Well, he starts choking. Which
doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, because I
guess he's choking because
like maybe his throat is swelling, maybe.
And so he starts choking on like a shrimp or something, and so
because he seems fine after the choking. Yeah. So I think they kind of like maybe lost the sauce on the allergy part.
During this, should mention he almost messes up because he forgets to change back into his regular clothes before he talks to the executive, and so he's dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire, and he's just like, why are you dressed as a woman? And he's like, oh, this is the new character I came up with. And so it's like, oh, okay.
He like thinks for a second and it's like, meet the host of your new show.
Yeah, he makes it work. But then the thing with the jambalaya happens, and he's giving the Heimlich maneuver to save Pierce Brosnan from dying, so that he doesn't commit murder.
Yeah, I do like that he recognizes it. He's like, "Oh no, I've killed the man."
He is kind of like, "I've gone too far."
Like, oh shit!
Yeah.
And he jumps up.
I think that's his thing, is that he's not like a bad guy. He's just like very impulsive.
He's impulsive and he doesn't think.
He's probably extremely ADHD. He's just very impulsive.
This is the reason why his marriage didn't. Well, not that it's because of his ADHD, but it's because he's impulsive and he doesn't address it, and he doesn't think things through, and he wasn't stuff.
Trying to improve. Yeah. Which he has done through being Mrs. Doubtfire and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, he saves his life. Pierce Brosnan doesn't die.
And the mask is coming off his face as he's doing it.
From doing like the Heimlich maneuver, it like dishevels his disguise, and so it reveals that he's him. His wife is like, what the fuck?
Understandably, I liked her acting in that, because she was like, I need to leave. Like, I need to leave.
Yeah, I like the reaction of just like, I need to go.
Like, right now.
We need to get out of here.
And she does. She's like, bye. She just yeets out of there. And it is really funny because the guy like takes, like, they wordlessly kind of go like, thanks, and like shake hands.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, thanks for saving me, I guess.
Yeah.
All right,
and he's never seen again, so like, granted, the movie isn't that much longer afterward, so I don't know if that like broke them up. If he was like, I see you're going through a lot, I'm gonna give you some space, or I almost died, maybe it's best I don't continue this relationship. I don't know, maybe they're fine, but you don't see him after that part of the movie. His character just kind of disappears. But there's only like maybe 10 or 15 minutes more, so it's not that much
because
more
then
of it.
We kind of get to the end of the movie.
Yes.
And so, he does not have any custody of the kids at that point. I think he has visited, supervised visitation.
Yeah, because
of his, bizarre behavior and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but, like, he does, I guess the executive liked the Mrs. Doubtfire character because he gets the job of being the host of a children's show, which is where he should have ended up, really.
Honestly, yeah.
Where his talents were. He's great with kids.
Yeah, worked out well.
And so, and then like, and then the wife and the kids are like watching the Mrs. Doubtfire show. And so she kind of realizes like, okay, like things obviously did not work out between us, and they never will work out.
Yeah.
Like,
I do like how they commit to that.
Yeah. I was wondering if they would have them get back together, but they don't do that. I think it is better for that, because I think that would have been too cheesy or whatever.
Yeah. And like they prove many times throughout the movie that they are better people without each other.
And they really just didn't get along. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and so she decides to, I guess, go and have like shared custody or whatever. And that's the end of the movie pretty much. So it's like, okay, it's like a bittersweet ending.
Yeah, bit of a bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would say it's more sweet than bitter.
Sure. Yeah.
Because again, like I said, their divorce is like, no, this is a good thing.
It's not like
better for them.
Perfect ending.
And I do like how, speaking of the divorce element of it, I like how it does end with, like kind of the voiceover reel as he's like picking up the kids, and it's him as Doubtfire, answering a letter from a little kid who is like talking about like their parents going through a divorce, and he's like, you know, somebody said my family's not a family anymore, you know, like, what do I do? And he's like, oh, puppet, you know, like, your parents love you, and sometimes they just don't, you know, get along with each other, and they're better people without each other, but they'll always love you. And like that, I'm like kind of choking up a little bit. It was like, it was really sweet. Like it was a really well handled moment, you know, addressing like divorce, which I kind of noticed when you were skimming through the Wikipedia article. I noticed that I guess it said Robin Williams' then wife at the time. So I guess like
one of the producers. Yeah,
one of the producers,
Marsha Williams.
Yeah, because it says and her then husband Robin Williams. So I guess. I don't know if they wrote from an angle they were still married.
They were still married.
They were still married.
They were still married until 2010.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is that? Oh, okay. I was going to say, was that just when he died? But no, they divorced before he died.
Oh,
I couldn't remember when he.
Yeah, but either way.
Oh, that was 2014. Okay, so.
So it was a few. A few years prior.
Or later.
Words. Yes, I meant later, not prior. But either way, the thing that I was getting at though was interesting. Like who's to say maybe there was an angle of that, but no, that was many years ago or prior to all that, before they ended up getting divorced. So because I was wondering, I was like, I wonder if that came from a lens of understanding, where they were like, I may not be getting along very well in my marriage. Let's produce in that angle. I don't know. But yeah, it was well handled, and like we mentioned before with the other like topics in this movie, it's definitely a product of its time. It is from the 90s, and so like there is going to be language in this movie that addresses certain topics that are just outdated because of course it is. Time is ever changing and evolving, and we learn more all the time. So of course it's going to be in its own little pocket, but at least it's not a gross, grimy pocket. I'm glad that this movie is at least in like a pocket with some lint in it, where you're just like, ooh, okay, here's some lint. Let me, shove that off a little bit. But otherwise, it's pretty good. I also don't know where I'm going from this metaphor, so I'm just watching you look at me like, what the fuck? I swear it sounded better in my head. But either way, good movie, as I've said multiple times, and I will continue to say. I despite its faults, I do still think it's funny. I personally don't choose to rewatch this movie on a whim because of those awkward timed moments where he does shitty things and I have to walk away. I'm like, no, because that's the kind of person I am. I can't watch awkward things in movies because I get that secondhand embarrassment. I cringe really hard and I'm just like, no, this hurts me. And I hate the liar reveal plot because of that, which that is what this movie is. We were talking about that when we were watching it. We're like, oh yeah, hey Grezy, it's your favorite trope. The liar revealed, but the movie. So yeah, it's a difficult watch for me in that respect, but it is still enjoyable though. It is an enjoyable experience overall. Yeah. So what we're saying is, not that we're grading this based on like how we enjoyed it, but hey, this was definitely not We're Back. This was a good movie where we're like, neat. We don't feel like we wasted minutes of our life watching it. And in fact, the totally legal way in which we were consuming it took a while to get to work.
Well, it was just we were watching it with some friends on Discord, and like partway into the movie, apparently all of Discord like died. So we were like, wait, what?
It was like, no! I didn't want us to watch it, but we did it anyway. Could have done it during We're Back, but no, did it during this movie instead.
Well, should we talk about how 90s it is?
Yeah, I think
that is the point of the podcast.
Oh, really?
Presumably.
Oh, I forgot.
Presumably.
I forgot about that. well, points docked off for no skip-its or bop-its, man. I'm always going to be like, man, how 90s are you if you don't got to skip it?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, not a lot of 90s gadgets or anything.
Which, I mean, I say that jokingly, actually. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But
no, I mean, that is the thing, is, like, 90s technology.
That's true. Like, the kids aren't playing with slap bracelets or anything like that, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, like I said kind of at the beginning, I think this is one of the more 90s ones.
I would agree. The fashion definitely does seem more 90s forward, I would say.
Yeah, the fashion very 90s. And this was 93, so there's still, I guess, some 80s influence. But I don't know. It felt really 90s to me.
Yeah. And also, we have to mention, because I did bring this up when we were watching the movie, I was like, oh my gosh, is this the first, like, city... like setting that isn't New York out of all the movies we watched? Because one of our friends was like, where is this? And I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know. Is it New York? Because all of these movies. Yeah, it was
California. I feel like California is a pretty 90s
I
setting.
Think a lot of movies, if they weren't in New York, they were in California.
Yeah, I mean, those are the two biggest.
Yeah, those are the two big cities, so it would track.
Yeah, well, LA and San Francisco are two different cities, but
well, you know, okay,
that's why I just said California in general.
Yeah,
but anyway,
cities in California, popular cities in California and New York are popular city settings in movies, and maybe perhaps also in 90s movies as we continue to circle the drain on that topic. Because I guess we will just have to eventually see that as we go through these various films. Yeah,
and like, I think one thing about the what's so 90s to me is also just really kind of the genre of the movie itself.
And you mentioned that when we were watching it.
The way the movie feels, I'm like, you couldn't have this movie in the 80s or the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, they were not making this type of comedy in those decades, I feel like. This... I don't even know what to call it. This family. I feel like the family film is a very 90s like kind of concept.
You know, that is a good. Can we like look that up really quick? I'm actually kind of curious. When did the concept of family film
like, term?
Yeah, like when did that be popularized?
Family film. Show me history. Well, I mean, obviously, this is Wikipedia's a little, because it's saying children's film.
Yeah.
I'm specifically thinking, I feel like the idea of a family film is a different idea. I don't know why it's combining them. How do you define a family? Here's
Reddit talking about that.
Family,
for all members of the family.
Yeah, the difference between family movie and kids movie.
Family film.
Dictionary?
Maybe do popularity of family film.
Yeah,
like the popularity.
This is a live research section.
Yeah.
Popularity of family films.
Genre, maybe. Because it's,
okay, shut up. What the data says?
What does the data say?
What does the data say? American film market? This is about animated films. I think the internet doesn't even know.
No.
The internet doesn't understand
But hey, as a child of the 90s, I would agree with you based on my consumption of media, because I was born in the 90s and I feel like I watched a lot of family films. And I'm trying to like search my mind of like 80s movies that I know of, and I don't really know too many of them off the top of my head. And all of them are like action-oriented films, I think. So I would hesitate to say that they were maybe popular in the 80s. I feel like you would be correct saying that family films maybe were more popularized in the 90s, which would make sense because... oh gosh, I should have prepped by watching H. Bomber Guy's video about VHSs and the popularity of videos in the home. I should have rewatched Scanline. But yeah, I feel like that having the movies in the home allowed for people to get their families together and watch family films at home. So take that with a large grain of salt. I don't have any real research to back that up. And it's been a minute since I watched Scanline, so I could be misremembering some of that information too.
I mean, I also...
misappropriating it.
I feel like... I mean, I feel like the 90s were also we're still a big time for going into the theater.
Well, yeah, that's true. Like, you would take the family to the theater.
And it would be like, have the family outing
Probably
to the theater.
because it was, back in the day, a cheaper, fun activity to do. Mm-hmm. It certainly ain't cheap now.
Yeah.
God, not to, like, make
and
our
people
wallet...
just had more money back then anyway.
Yeah. Not to make our wallet
People
cry.
had families.
Yeah, they could afford to have families. But when we went to go see Superman, not to make our wallet like scream and cry in agony, but I remember that you said, oh my God, it's like that much for tickets? Because we got 2 tickets for Superman, and wasn't it like $25 or something like that?
Like each?
Wasn't it? I don't think it was $25 each.
It was like, I feel like it was almost $20 a ticket.
It was a lot.
Which I think when I worked in the theater, it was like 12, 13, something. Anyway.
It's absurd. Like, jeez. I know those seats are nice now. Like, come on, they got some good seats. Although the ones in the theater that we were in, I think it was mine. And then somebody else's, because I heard it too when they were moving. But when they were like moving the seat back, it was like making a noise. It sounded like a fart. It was like, and I was like, that's funny.
So anyway.
But anyway.
But
going back what you were saying with family films, though, yeah, I would hesitate to agree that might be an element of the 90s. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of data.
I would also say, like, the sound of the movie, it has that, I don't know, it has that 90s orchestral music soundtrack that I don't know, that I feel like, again, a lot of, probably mostly the family films usually would have that little, the I don't know, whatever, like just orchestral music in the background of most scenes. That does, because then the 80s I associate a lot with more like electronic kind of soundtracks.
That's fair.
Like the I don't know. With a lot of bass and
I know what you're meaning with it though. And speaking of the soundtrack, they did have, I mean, again, makes sense because this movie is in the 90s. I feel like the music that they played, not just the like orchestral music, but
there was also licensed music.
There was licensed music.
Does feel like which,
I was in the middle of saying, I feel like those were very 90s, and then I went,
not really.
They were probably more 80s, actually, now that I think about it.
Not really, but even that in itself is 90s, if you think about it.
Yeah, when I listened to the radio back in the day, it was 80s, 90s, and today.
Classic rock, right? Like,
they lump it together.
Did the idea of classic rock start in the 90s or maybe more 2000s? I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
Because obviously this has... Dude looks like a lady. I mean, I feel like that's just obligatory.
Well, you even made the reference. It's like,
of course the song is in this movie.
They just looked at songs that had girl and man in it.
Yeah, there was some other one, I don't remember what it was, but it was something about like be a man or whatever.
Somewhere,
I don't know, something like that. And I was like, they just searched for songs that had man or woman or, or something in the title.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I think, and then just having Gail's licensed little song cameos. Yeah, anything else about like the 90s-ness of it?
Robin Williams. Williams. Robin Williams. I feel like stands out to me, and again, maybe this is my bias because as somebody who grew up in the 90s and watched a lot of content, animated content especially, Robin Williams was on my radar because he was in Aladdin, he was the genie, and there's a whole shit with that, with the Disney company, but he was also Batty in Ferngully.
He was in some other animated ones, and then he was in a lot of live action stuff too. Like
he was in a lot of live action.
He was like everywhere.
He was,
and then he would show up as like guests on talk shows and stuff. And
I don't remember what year it was, but I still like one of my favorite like little Sesame Street like Muppet skits is when he's like showing Elmo the like all the cool things you can do with just like a stick. And he's like, I'm a hockey player, my teeth, and like all these other things. And he's just going on for like a long time. And then he finally hands it, he's like, you know what? I'm going to give it to you. And it was cool. And I always love that little moment. I'm like, that's so cute and sweet. It's funny. I like it.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that was. Like, I know that Sesame Street was, I think more like, it started in the 80s,
70s even, right?
Yeah.
It was on for a long time.
Yeah. And I don't know when Robin appeared on it, so like I'm not sure when that skit happened. It might have been more in the 80s or the 90s. Okay. But either way, all that to say, he was in a lot of things, and I watched a lot of the things that he was in. Like that. So whether they were reruns of older content or what, my 90s brain just associates Robin Williams with 90s as a result. So I would definitely say Robin Williams is very 90s in my opinion. He's very 90s.
Yeah, I would say it is like the peak of his career. Like he was doing a movie every year, probably multiple movies a year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was everywhere.
Yeah. He was definitely getting popularized around that time, like finding a lot more work, mainstream work. Because I know he did stand up beforehand, I think, too. So yeah. But either way, go ahead.
Pierce Brosnan is in it. He's the 90s Bond. So there's that.
There is that, yes. There is that. You are correct. That is also very 90s.
That's a lot of there are other actors in the movie, which I'm sure are great also.
What's her name? Oh no, I feel bad. I feel bad just calling her Matilda, the little girl.
Oh, the little girl's Matilda's actress. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also forget her name.
Oh, could you look her up really quick, because I know that she also did. She did Matilda, but I feel like did she do other things, or am I just like misremembering?
Mara Wilson. She's great. Mara Wilson is great. Yeah, that name is familiar. I don't really remember what else I've seen her in. But yeah, definitely those two things.
Yeah. Definitely in this one and Matilda, which Matilda is on our list.
Oh, and then it was the older daughter. Is she also the older daughter in Jumanji?
Oh.
Who was? I know she's like so familiar. Hold on. Doubtfire cast. I feel like she was just the teen daughter. Oh, Lisa Jacob. Mm-hmm. I feel like she's the teen daughter in like everything. She's in Independence Day. This is Doubtfire.
Wasn't there somebody else in Independence Day that you were like, hey, from Independence Day?
Oh, his brother is also in Independence Day.
Oh, okay.
He has a very distinctive voice. I think his name is Firestein.
Oh, cool.
Something.
Yeah, I liked his voice. I was actually going to ask, like, was that a voice he was putting on, or...
No, that's just what he sounds like.
That's cool. I liked his voice. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, was there anything? Is Doubtfire...
Princess Leia in the short film George Lucas in Love.
Okay.
Oh wait. The Beautician and the Beast.
That's some
played
other
the inspiration
thing.
for Princess Leia. Okay, I was like, what? Picture Perfect in Bordello.
I don't really recognize.
Well, there's Independence Day, like you were saying.
I guess that must be. I don't know. I don't remember who that is. Maybe she's
Friday the 13th. A lot of TV stuff.
Okay.
A lot of 90s TV.
Looks like she kind of stopped acting at some point. Around 2000. Oh yeah, retired from acting in 2001. Okay, well, there you go.
Okay, well, there you go. But yeah, definitely, like, it started, like, in the 80s, and then she had a lot of, like, TV credits in the 90s.
Yeah, she was like a child actor, and then I guess she just decided it wasn't for her.
The son looked familiar, too, so he might have been in some things as well.
The son looked extreme. He was a very 90s
He also
boy.
had that haircut.
He had that haircut.
He had that, like, smooth, kind of longer bowl cut haircut, like mullet bowl cut almost. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Was that Aaron Carter who, like, kind of had that a lot?
Oh, I think so.
Who, like, made that popular? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
But anyway... Yeah, the kids were very 90s.
Yeah.
Because also the daughter definitely had like grunge fashion. She had like flannel shirts and like maybe like a band t-shirt or something, stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, okay.
And like, would you also say that in the setting of the movie, how their house is in, obviously in California, they're well off,
Just the fact that it's like a nice house.
They've got a big house.
Is that 90s?
So I was going to say, is that like...
Kinda.
Is that like indicative, do you think, of like what you see in 90s media? Because a lot of them do have nice houses.
I'm thinking like, then when you look at like 80s or 2000s stuff, a lot of times it's maybe more grungy.
Yeah. I would say
I was thinking, the look of the movie has that kind of clean 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to go like well off suburbia in the 90s. Maybe.
That was definitely like pretty common. Mm-hmm. Like characters were usually kind of middle class suburban a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You said before.
I was thinking 98. because I guess I'm saving 99. Like, if we just get a movie where somebody's just playing with a skip it and they're like listening to, I don't know, wait, was Backstreet Boys 90s or was it 2000s? Oh my god. I need to turn down these alerts. Hi, Moon.
On our stream here, we just got raided by some friends. So hello, Moon. Thank you for dropping by. Towards the end of this segment of the stream, we'll be looking at Great Ace Attorney in a little bit, but we're deliberating on our scoring for this 90s movie and how 90s it is.
On a scale of 90 to 99.
And I totally get what you're saying about wanting to maybe reserve 99 for something that is just chock full of 90s flavor. And so I always go into these thinking I've got a number, and then we talk about it, and then I'm like, well, now my number. What number were you? I was thinking 99. I really was. Wow. This was probably the first one where I was like, 99 this is really 90s. Like, and I agree with you. But I think I can be talked down into doing 98 because of what you said just now, that there could be more. But also, as I'm thinking, as I'm deliberating off the cuff here, maybe this can still be on par with something that is just chock full of like 90s stereotypes. Because of what we've already referenced, we have other movies that we've even said are not really all that 90s, or they are 90s, but they're not necessarily what we would have thought at first as really 90s movies, but they still got good high scores. They got high 90s scores. The lowest one was We're Back, I think. So I would say that it would make sense to have this one start that trend of being, yep, this is super 90s. This is super 90s. And it could be on the same like tier as, say, one of those movies that just is all skip-its and bump-its. And I like how those are my two determining factors of 90s, They gotta have a skip-it and a bop-it, and it's 90s apparently.
And all the backgrounds are that pattern that was on the paper cups.
Yep.
And they spend the whole movie takes place in a mall.
Yeah.
And
that would be very 90s.
They're playing Super Nintendo and they're roller skating and skateboarding at the same time.
I would, man, if that movie doesn't exist, go ahead and make that movie. But saying all that to go and bring back the point that Mrs. Doubtfire could exist on the same tier, on the same 99 scale.
It's a more subtle.
It's a more subtle 90s flavor, but it's still potent. It's it gets in the back of your throat and then kicks you.
I can see that. I'm still a little hesitant to give out the top spot. Just because, maybe we can adjust later.
We do always say that. We're like, we might readjust some of these scores later.
If our scale changes, maybe we can... Maybe we can say this is the 99 for now. Yeah, we can always make we can always put like maybe the tier list in the description of these videos, when they go onto YouTube, and be like, you can check and see where we're at. See if this changed. If you're watching this in the year 2030 or something like that. Oh my gosh. Will they even remember the 90s? I said 2030 like it was really far away, but we're in 2025. That's 5 years away. That's only 5 years. Let's say we're watching this in 2050. Jeez. Where's my flying cars?
Oh, jeez. I wonder what the price of eggs will be.
It was funny. I've just been watching like random old like cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of them was there's a RoboCop cartoon. And it's funny, the very first shot is of the White House, and it says like the White House 2020. And I'm like, no. They had no idea. They had no idea. Oh, the future. And yeah, and also she had the main character that has a flying car. Anyway.
Oh, of course they do. Oh, Of course they do. We gotta stop with flying cars.
Future.
We can't even drive normal cars. Heck, we can't even have automated cars. It's gonna take a long time.
There's that one game, Cyberpunk 2077, and it's gonna be so awkward once it actually gets to that year and nothing is actually like in the game. Or whatever.
Yeah, look at that. This is what happens when you try to predict the future.
You even named it the year. But anyway.
Did that and everything. But yes.
Yes, is this our first 99 out of 99?
It could be. And like I was saying, if you're watching in that year of 2050 or 2077, whatever, and you're like, man, so they gave this movie a 99, and then you look back later and it's like, oh, it's 98. They must have changed the score at some point. So when we finally make that tier list, you should peep the descriptions, maybe. Maybe we'll put that in there if we remember. But I would say I feel pretty good about giving it a 99. Okay. But I also, again, would not fight you, per se, if you wanted to make it a 98. Like, I wouldn't fight you.
I'm fine with putting it at 99.
Yeah, for now.
Unless we get something really 90s.
Yes. But like I said, it could coexist. Yeah, it could coexist. It can. Because I know I made that mention before where I was like, is this movie really like as 90s as Space Jam? You know, like who's to say? But it can exist in that same playing field. You know, we have to have open minds on that. Yeah. Just different flavors of it. Is
that all for this episode?
I think so. Now, we did get recommendation from our friends that they agreed, or not recommendation, but confirmation that they thought it was cool. We gave the what's next, you know, like what are we thinking of talking about next time? And I think we should continue that. And it's actually really appropriate that I ask, because we don't even really need to do deliberating, because you've been sitting on this one for a little while. You've known which one you've wanted to watch.
Yeah, I wasn't going to skip over that. I was going to say.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, so I wanted to watch The Sixth Sense.
Ooh.
Because I actually was listening to another podcast.
Yay!
Called Media Club Plus, which is really great. Mm-hmm. They did their first season as they watched all of the anime Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, fun.
The one that started in 2011, not the one from the 90s.
Call me when they watch Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah. They were saying they might do those as like a bonus episode or something, but anyway. It's just shout out to Media Club Plus. But now that they finished that now they're doing every M. Night Shyamalan movie, starting with The Sixth Sense. And not ever. I think they're skipping some. Like I think they're skipping the Avatar one. But anyway,
fair point. Which refresh my memory of the YouTuber that you watched that you showed me. They did that video. Jeffiet.
Shout out to Jeffiet, who watched every M. Night Shyamalan movie, including his actual first one before The Sixth Sense was like an indie movie. It was an indie movie and a Hindi movie because he filmed it in India.
Look at that. Yeah. Anyway, I see what you did there. I see what you did.
Actually, I think it wasn't English, so never mind. No. Anyway, but it was filmed in India.
But didn't he also not watch Avatar? Or did he?
He didn't say anything about it.
He didn't say anything.
So he did kind of skip over, because Jeffiet did a video where he watched every M. Night Shyamalan movie to find out, is there something good about every movie?
Yeah, and I think it was a good premise. I think
he kind of ended up actually legitimately liking most of the movies, maybe aside from like one or two. But anyway.
And Avatar may have been one of those one or two.
Well, again, he just skipped over it. He didn't say anything about it.
Oh, that's true. He didn't say anything about it.
Anyway.
But that might say
enough about other people. We're going to watch The Sixth Sense, because I listened to those people talking about it, and they were just talking about how great it is. And I was like, man, maybe I should watch it again, because it's been a long time since I watched it. And I remember liking it, but not really thinking about it too much. But hearing them talk about it, I'm like, oh man, I feel like I missed a lot. Maybe I should watch it again.
It's really good. And I look forward to rewatching it. There are actually some clips that I will go to YouTube to rewatch. I don't want to get in spoiler territory or
because we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it, but there's a certain scene where I'm always like, oh my god, this fucking scene is so good,
right? Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was getting from listening to them talk about it. I was like, this movie sounds really good from listening to other people talk about it. Maybe I should watch it.
Yeah. And I will say, speaking of that movie, not to like be a bummer about it or anything, but shout out to Bruce Willis. I know he's going through.
He's been like hospitalized.
Yeah, I saw like some news information.
Or he's in assisted living.
He's basically like in a 24/7 like care home, on their property.
Something like Alzheimer's or
dementia. I think is what it is. Yeah. Because I guess the headline that I read is he doesn't even remember that he's an actor, like that he was in those movies like Die Hard.
Yeah.
So pour one out for Bruce Willis, legendary actor. Yeah. Just as we pour one out. Yeah.
As we'll see in The Sixth Sense.
As we will. Great. But leaving off on this movie with Mrs. Doubtfire, also in the same breath, pour one out for Robin Williams, definitely quite an iconic and legendary career. Brought many laughs, and I enjoyed laughing to this one, cringing and hiding during some of it, but I did enjoy it. And if you end up watching it, I wonder if you'll agree with us and think it is as 90s as we do. But we're still right. That's all I'm going to say. We're right. We're right. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not your podcast. It's our podcast.
Exactly. Your name on here.
You just have to listen to it. You don't have to make any decisions.
Also, I just realized I don't think we ever really fully addressed ourselves. If I remember correctly, I don't think we ever.
Oh, at the beginning.
I'm Ergo and I'm Grezy. Like, I don't think we ever said that.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ergo. This is Grezy.
I guess now we should go.
Bye.
Well, bye. I'm Grezy. Now get out of my house, as Barry would say from Game Grumps.
Oh, I thought you were gonna make it more like a reference to the movie.
Get out of my house, puppet. That was bad.